Hello there, my beautiful Virgo signs. This is Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. So today's video is going to be all about you, Virgo. This is a traditional Celtic cross spread that I pull, and there's usually about 10 cards, but I pulled some clarifier cards for you because I felt guided to do that. So this reading is about love. I do feel it's about self-love, it's about healing. And the music that I listened to before I got on here was Natasha Bedingfield's Pocket Full of Sunshine. It just popped into my head. It's just an old time, not old time. I don't know if it's from the 90s or the thousands, but it's a classic song. Most people know it. And I do feel like that is a message for you. So it's like you have a pocket full of sunshine and it's from yourself. So you're learning how to love yourself. You're learning how to heal yourself, Virgo. You're ready. I do feel like you're ready for love in ways, or you really want to love and you're trying to manifest some sort of connection, but I do feel like it's going to take some time and some balance. And if you're wanting a long-term commitment, it's going to require a long-term commitment to yourself first, Virgo. So that can be a hard challenge when we are living in this world of instant gratification. So, everything is at the touch of our fingers. We can order whatever we want, whenever we want it, whether it's food, whether it's shopping, whether it's, just about anything. You have the ability to purchase things, from your phone or the internet or whatever it is. So it's this instant gratification world that we're in. So when it comes to something like love, that's not really monetarily driven, it can be hard to be patient for those sorts of things. But I do see you are putting in the work on yourself and you're healing and you're moving out of some sort of old mindset, Virgo, that's not serving you. You are sailing into calmer seas because you have the Six of Swords in your current situation. This is a card about moving from choppy waters into calmer seas, and that can be changing some sort of mindset because the swords are all about air energy, which is about our minds. The challenge right now is the Ten of Swords. This is, again, getting out of old mindsets and removing all of these past pains and burdens from our the trauma from our lives. This is like stick a fork in you. You're done with the old ways. You've been betrayed. You've been deceived, whatever it is. It's like you're trying to remove all these swords so you can move forward and move on. I do feel like a lot of you have been through a lot of trauma because you're the wounded warrior here. The Page of Swords came out in your foundation, but it was clarified by the Nine of Wands. So the basis of the situation is like immature behavior patterns, immature partners perhaps, or just like immature is kind of a cruel way to say it, but it's like a unhealed. That's probably the best way to put it. Page of Swords can be an unhealed bond that you've shared with someone, and I do feel like that has to do with love for sure, because love was in your past energy, and it's like you are the wounded warrior when it comes to love, because I feel like you have a history of being with partners who maybe are not aligned with you, or maybe at one point in time you did feel aligned with that person, but you are no longer in that state, because in the past you have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy, but in your present situation, whatever, you have the Four of Swords. That's a card of healing, resting, recovery, rejuvenation, contemplation. So it's like you're in this mode of like, okay, I see how that happened or why that had to happen. I maybe don't understand it completely, but I'm really trying to reflect and be self-aware so it doesn't happen again. And you're at some sort of choice point, or you will be in the future here, because you have the Chariot card. The Chariot is about making a choice to move forward instead of lingering too much in the past. It's also a card of travel. So somebody might be coming in from a distance, or you might be traveling somewhere. Maybe you're guided to go on some sort of retreat or a vacation of some sorts, because like the Pocket Full of Sunshine song, there's a part in the lyrics that say like, take me away to a secret place, a sweet escape. So that might be relevant. Maybe you need to get away and clear your head and do something that brings you a lot of joy and passion. And it could be cars, because the Chariot here is a fast moving energy. So something to do with cars, which wouldn't surprise me because you're a Virgo. Virgos love cars usually, or at least the Virgos I know. So the power in your situation is the Ten of Wands. This is really closely tied to the Ten of Swords. It's a card of like burdens, baggage, the past, holding on to past traumas and things like that. So you're going to have to put in the work here with the Eight of Pentacles to let these things go. That is within your control, that is within your power. Sometimes it's hard to move on from something if we don't understand it. So really throwing yourself into this contemplational state is going to be vital, because the only way we can find forgiveness is for ourselves and for other people is through understanding. So it's like you kind of have to retrace your steps, looking in your rear view mirror, not staring in it, obviously, because you're still driving forward. But you have to look in the rear view mirror to understand where you've come from, to see where it is that you're going. And I do feel like you're wise enough to do that, Virgo. It's just going to require a lot of elbow grease, which is what the Eight of Pentacles is. So it's like putting in that work, putting in that healing. And you might be doing that through study, like studying books or studying divination or mystical arts or things like that. Sometimes you can find a lot of self-help through theology, or you can find ways to understand things through psychology. And Carl Jung is a great person to look up. Freudian sort of thing. Those are typical, very common psychology references. So even just going to the self-help section and trying to read about trauma and things like that, and healing those mother wounds, those father wounds that we all generally carry, will help you heal that inner child. And that's going to put you on a path of self-love. It's going to raise your vibration as you heal yourself. I personally recommend Reiki. That's just a great way to kind of tap into your psyche energetically, and it can cause old traumas or old wounds to bubble up to the surface that we didn't even consciously know were there, that we might have suppressed or compartmentalized as a saving sort of mechanism, as a fight or flight response. Sometimes we bury our emotions when it comes to certain situations, and don't forget, crying is natural. Crying is a biological ability that we all must do. It is very common, and it's it's almost like a reflex. So don't be afraid to cry. And I know that might sound weird, but you're Virgos, so I don't feel like you probably cry very much. But the next card I have for you is how do people see you? This is, or how does this affect people around you? This is apathy. Four of Cups is a card of not being satisfied when it comes to love, or whatever your options were. You're kind of just meh, no thanks, I'm not interested in that anymore. Now, in your hopes and fears section, you have the Hierophant, which is clarified by the Temperance card. This is Taurus energy, I believe, with the Hierophant, and then the Sagittarian energy for the Temperance card. So you might have some Taurus in your chart, or you're dealing with a Taurus or a Sagittarius, but the Temperance card is about a long-term commitment. It can be traditional beliefs and value systems as well. It can also be a card of study. So maybe you're afraid of what you're going to discover. Maybe you're afraid of long-term commitment. Whatever it is, though, that your hopes or your fears are, it's going to require temperance, which is a balance of your 3D life and your 5D life. It's a balance of your emotions. It's a balance of timing. I kind of think of this card as the rabbit and the hare story, where it's slow and steady wins the race, because everyone's, oh, my stomach's growling. So slow and steady wins the race because everyone's running after this thing. But you don't want to be the fastest when it comes to love, because when you go into something fast, it's usually a love bombing thing, and it's a almost like an anxious attachment style, where you dive into something and you really want to cling to this person, you want to hold on to them because you feel like you're lacking in some part of your life, and it's bringing you some sort of instant gratification, and that can be unhealthy. It can be detrimental to the relationship if you're not careful. You really want to start a relationship as a friendship first, and then let that grow and blossom into something, hopefully, that lasts long term, if that's what you're looking for. Now, your potential outcome here, Virgo, is the King of Cups. This is a card of love. I feel like this is your energy. And if you're a woman watching this, it doesn't matter. This is you can be in your masculine and your feminine energy all at once, and we all have those things inside of both of us. And if you're nah, this doesn't really feel like me, it could be whoever you're going to be dealing with soon, or whoever that your past love was. Maybe somebody really wore the pants in the relationship, and that's what the King of Cups is. It's putting love into action and making an effort when it comes to love. And maybe that's just putting effort into self-love, but I do feel like it's you really wanting to have a connection with someone because you have the Knight of Cups here in your subconscious. So it's like you're really wanting to make an offer of love, but I'm not quite sure you're exactly ready or where you want to be at this moment when it comes to releasing the past, releasing that baggage that you're hanging on to. Because you don't really want to start something new with someone if you're not mostly healed. Now, I don't know if there's ever a completely healed phase that we get into, but I feel like being mostly healed is important, Virgo, in order to move forward, because you can then love yourself more and it allows you to love someone else better. Now, that's what I have for you when it comes to the tarot. That was the traditional Celtic cross spread, and I'm going to dive into a bunch of oracle cards. Wow. And see what other messages Spirit and your guides have for you. If this message has resonated, please smash that like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. If you feel guided, you can always book a session with me and I can pull tarot for your personalized energy. It's basically an individual reading I do. You can book for that on my website. Or if you feel guided and you want some quasi-therapy, you can just book a coaching session with me where we kind of talk about whatever it is you want to work on in your life and what's going on and how to help yourself heal from that, because there's lots of different modalities of healing and a lot of ways to release trauma, whether it's through Reiki, which is the energetic healing, or whether it's through somatic healing like flame gazing, or even through like sound therapy, like there's crystals or sound baths or solfeggio frequencies and binaural beats. Those can be very healing frequencies to cleanse us of any negativity that we're carrying. Wow. Okay. All right. I'm almost done. I have one more card to pull for you. Wow. Radical change. I have not seen that card. That's cool. You're radically changing and you're radically accepting where you are in life, Virgo. 49. Time for transformation. In the moment of change, there's truth, sincerity, and a sure knowledge. The power of the whole unfolding creative process from source through to fruition and fulfillment can enter here and change the world. Regrets vanish along with the past which they belong. The new time is coming, and how can you break the mold, and how must the form change to express the essence? I do feel like this is just you shifting your mindset when it comes to love and your expectation of who's going to absorb your energy and who you're going to want to attract in the future, because any relationship is an energy exchange, whether we realize it or not. It's always flowing. It's like a constant state of flow. That's really what our lives are. So we're constantly vibrating. We're constantly balancing our frequencies or changing our frequencies. That's just the nature of our being. We are electromagnetic beings inside of human bodies. So it's like this is our shell, and we are actively vibrating, which is scientific fact that's proven on a atomic level. So the two cards that I have for you, Virgo, from my archetype deck, these both flew out, so I'm going to take them, are the Animal and Apocalypsis. Now, this might feel just like a huge major shift for you, and I'm not sure what the animal has to do with anything in particular. Maybe you're just being very adaptable or feeling like you have to shift to meet someone else's needs, or there might quite literally be an animal that you're fighting over in a relationship. Like if you're ending a relationship, you might be fighting over who gets to keep the animal, because the time to go card is here. So it's like you're leaving a situation, or you've already left a situation because you're changing your mindset and you're moving out of this past energy. And that's number 45. Now you have also dissipating and complacency. Dissipating is tied to your solar plexus by the yellow, symbolized by the yellow on the outside of the card, and complacency is tied to your root chakra. So there's some major shifts happening. You're trying to set a new foundation for what it is you do in your daily life, which is that complacency card. That's the root is our basic foundation of, shelter, water, all those things, like whatever your standard is of living. And then the dissipating is your kind of your willpower card when it comes to something. It's like maybe the pain, the sensation, the feelings that you had for someone, or the loss of a relationship is slowly fading out because you realize that wasn't going to last forever, which can kind of be a bittersweet feeling if you're still grieving the process or the past. Now, the next card I have for you, Virgo, is I am worthy of living the very best in life and lovingly allowing myself to accept what comes my way. Again, I feel like that's this Four of Swords energy. It's the healing. It's the letting go of the past burdens and the past pain. Maybe you didn't make the greatest decisions, but you felt like you did in the moment. And I feel like, people might judge you for your past mistakes, but who cares? Like, they're not walking in your shoes. They don't know what your life has been like. And everyone has their own journey, their own trauma, and their own things that they should be healing. And if anyone's doing some sort of like petty gossip, it's like they have nothing else better to do in their lives than to judge you. There's something wrong there, and they're probably a low energetic being. Now, the third eye card I have for you is Harness. It says, ignore the voice of fear or self-doubt and go with your intuition and try to avoid the logical responses that may push your needs and instincts out of the way. Try and clear your mind of any cloudy doubts. That's really that Four Swords energy too. And you have Lotus. So this is a hard time for you. You feel like you've been dragged through the mud because that Nine of Wands and 10 of Wands, but there is progress and the end of a cycle for sure, because you're moving forward. So it says move from darkness into the light like a lotus. And in order for a lotus to grow, they have to grow in the mud. Like it's just not, there's no other way. So you can't have beauty without pain. You can't have love without trauma. Like these things are coexist and kind of go hand in hand. It's the light and the dark aspects of the duality of this world. And, those that have been to the underworld or the subconscious and been thrown to and cast into that sea, are usually the most profound authors, artists, creatives, because they have figured out a way to alchemize that pain from the past and put it into their passions and to pursue those things. And that's probably what Spirit is really wanting you to do at this time, to focus on that self-love, that self-care, Virgo, because this card is the Moon Oracle deck. It says, Cardinal Moon, be bold and make that first move. And I do feel like that's going to be vital for you because you also have expression. So how do you express yourself? How do you express your unique voice and your unique abilities? Because we all have a certain magic to us. We all have certain aspects of ourself that are individual and unique, and Spirit is really trying to guide you into that. Now, maybe some of you are dealing with animals. That could be your specific genre of expression. It says you are ready to manifest your thoughts and transform them into acts of love. And that's just validating this King of Cups energy. It's like you feel like you're ready for love again after some heartbreak, after some loss. And you also, I think, are just aware that you're still going through the healing journey. And you may not be like 100%, but I don't think anyone ever is 100% healed. I think it's a constantly evolving phase that we go through. And, we are working on us as we're trying to be with other people, and that's just a constant state of perpetuity when it comes to growth and change, which we all are evolving as our lives go on. It's just the process. Now, that's what I have for you, Virgo, when it comes to the Oracle cards. If you feel guided, you can go check out the extended reading, which I'll have a link posted in the description box below. I'm going to pull more tarot cards and dive in even further to this energy. And then I'm going to pull a bunch of love Oracle cards just to see what it is with this past love. And then whoever this upcoming love energy is that you're trying to attract, I'm going to pull some more cards on that. So if you feel guided, please go visit that link and you can purchase the extended. If not, that's fine too. Feel you probably heard everything you need to hear today. And if you're interested in a one-on-one coaching session, feel free to book on my website. Or if you're interested in a personalized tarot reading, I can do that as well. But thank you for being here, Virgo, and I'll see you next time.